Welcome back on another Saturday night. Now we are back with some more stuff to talk about. Oh, uh-oh. Where are we? We'll bring them in. You can hear them.
You can see my hand.
Why is it
I
showing
knew how to
you?
do sign language.
I ain't got a clue why it shows. There you go.
Woo!
He's in. He's back. Yeah, so we have a busy night tonight.
like
We got
I'm
a
so
lot
far
to
away.
talk about.
Yeah. So much stuff going on.
Yeah, that
So much
is
stuff going on.
no
You got
doubt.
Royal Rumble today.
Right.
Paul George got suspended for 25 games. I mean, that's just a personal problem for me.
Right.
What else? Catherine O'Hara passed away.
Yeah, big
Man,
ones.
it's just
Yeah,
so
so
much
let's
going on.
jump right into Royal Rumble here. Now, Roman Reigns won the 2026 Royal Rumble, historic, and it was in Vegas, right? So,
yes.
yeah.
And then punched his ticket to the WrestleMania, which will be in the summer, I guess. I'm not sure. But I thought Liv Morgan won.
Let's see. The final two, Reigns and Gunther, who had beaten AJ Styles earlier in the evening. In the end, the Tribal Chief won after spearing the ring general and throwing him over the top rope. Honestly, I didn't watch it. I don't really watch. I mean, I watched WWE as a kid, but yeah.
Wonder what I saw then. I thought it was Liv Morgan because she's a New Jersey native. Morristown.
Interesting. Maybe this is Bleacher Report that I'm getting this from. So, who knows? But
Not us, I guess.
Yeah, not me.
All right.
I went to David Spade the other night, and I was a little upset with some of the crowd that was there. Not
Well-
ready for stand up.
Well, how was David Spade first?
David Spade, absolutely amazing. Everything that comes out of that dude's mouth is funny, and he's just one of those guys that when he says it in a funny way. So he could say something that's pretty average and still just make it funny.
Yeah, Spade. I mean, like growing up, Joe Dirt.
Yeah.
Grown ups.
Tommy Boy.
Anything. Tommy Boy. Oh my
Yep.
god. And always loved Spade growing up.
He's an icon for sure in stand up. But the people around me were expecting him to be like a skit thing, like when he was on SNL, I think. Because I had to say something, and I try not to, but the people next to me were really getting under my skin where I had to turn to my girlfriend, I'm like, I'm going to say something. She looks at me, she's like, don't say anything. I'm like, I'm going to have to say something because they kept saying it over and over, and they're like, he's not as good as he was in Grown Ups. Well, this isn't Grown Ups, so it's stand up. It's a totally different thing. But no, he was great. His openers were pretty okay. I enjoyed it. You know, something that's close by and right in Appleton, so it was nice to see. Now, he does do podcasting now, I believe. And I've gotten really into podcasts with comedy, especially Bad Friends. That's what I've been listening to a lot. You ever listen to that one? Or
Yes, I am a Bad Friends listener. That's with Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino. Bobby Lee, he's funny on face value.
Right.
I don't think he's that smart, and I don't think his jokes are that great. But he just plays this character that's just like,
Right.
not idiot, but he's always playing a character. I feel like you never truly see him as him like true self. I mean, he does open up and get very personal on the podcast, but the way those two go back and forth, it is on a whole nother level. I mean, like that.
They're bad friends. They are bad friends.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they were like one of the only like people on that sort of level of comedy to like submit their podcast to the global the Golden Globes.
Yep.
And then Amy Poehler won, and like she only has like 6 episodes of her podcast out, and she won.
Yep.
Well deserved, I guess. But Bad Friends gets millions of views every week, and they're very, very funny.
Right.
Is that your favorite one that you would say?
Probably. I also like Two Bears, One Cave, who I know you just said you're not a huge Burt Kreischer fan.
Oh, so he's just like the most anti-funny person to ever exist. I think he's just
shirtless. You know, that's his big thing.
I mean, like for a podcast, in my opinion, because I do consume a lot of Tom Segura.
Right.
He's my favorite, and you can't get Tom Segura without Burt Kreischer.
That's
and Burt Kreischer just interrupts. His stories aren't funny. He talks about himself non-stop. I don't know.
That is very true with that podcast. He always talks about him, his family, his daughters. And he has a new show out. It's called Free Burt. I know you don't like him, but give it a try. It's actually pretty fun.
I won't, but I haven't liked anything he's put out since everybody liked The Machine.
I liked it, yeah.
The Machine, like his stand-up special when that came out. I mean, like he's been talking about the same story, and he still does the Machine in every single
Right.
act that he does on stage. Still,
Yeah.
that is ridiculous. Like,
Yeah, he always does.
he's kind of, it's just his running bit. You know, he's a party animal from Florida State. He had a Rolling Stones article written about him, and that's how he blew up.
Mhm.
And then, you know, that's when the Machine story blew up. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just, the episodes with Tom Segura and another guest that isn't Bert are
Right.
10 times better episodes, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Because Tom's a great interviewer, and I just think Tom Segura is just way more naturally funny.
Yeah, I agree with that. But this one is with his family, and his daughter, honestly, I think is funnier than he is. Her name is like
Isla.
Isla, yeah, that's her name. She's way funnier. One of my favorite stories from him with her is like, and I hope my kid never does this, where they were at like the airport and they're going through security, and she's like, I'm gonna play a little joke, and he's like, of course, good for it. He's like, he's a jokester too. She goes, he's kidnapping me, to the security guard, and then he like grabs her. He's like, that's not funny. Tell them I'm not kidnapping you. Of course, then they're looking because now you're telling her to say no, they're not kidnapping me. So they went through this whole like interrogation thing after, which is like a nightmare for any parent, but the fact that the kid did, it's pretty funny to me.
I do have to say this though. Any
Yeah.
story, most of the stories about his daughters, Georgia and Isla,
Mhm.
are his best. Are his best
Right.
work.
I think he has funny kids that make him funny.
Yeah, and I'm assuming that's what the show is about.
It's about his family, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like that's the only way he could have.
Right. Well, right into the opening, they join a new school, and he's like immediately on the bad side. So they have like this meeting, and then he goes and does like the stand-up thing, which is supposed to be no phones. Someone records it, and he's like talking bad about the principal and like the other parents and stuff. And then they all see it, and it just downhill spiral.
And I feel like I kind of feel this way about him because when you think you find someone before a lot of other people do, and then a lot of people find him, and now he's on every single commercial, he's on every single Netflix thing, he's on everything.
Right.
And then it kind of just gets old for you, and then you kind of resent the people that are like, "Oh, you got to him late." I think that's kind of probably how I feel about him. But I mean, like, I shouldn't be so like negative to say, "All right, I'm not going to watch a show." I will.
give it a try. Give it a try.
And it's only like 6 episodes, right?
Yeah, and they're like half hour. It's
And
not long at all.
And I remember looking at that on Netflix. I was like, all right, let's see how many episodes they are. And I hate that. I hate watching
it's 3 hours. It might as well be a movie.
Yeah.
It could definitely be a movie. But you also watched a pretty funny movie. You were telling me, The Wrecking Crew. It was
Oh my
called,
God.
right, with Jason Momoa.
I fell asleep at like, I probably have like 40 minutes left. And it's not because it was boring, it's because I was just a tired boy. But
Right.
I watched this last night. I believe it came out yesterday. It's basically a Hawaiian Bad Boys. And it is so freaking good. Jason Momoa. You think of him and you think of, Game of Thrones, you think of Baywatch, you think of Aquaman, and you think of just action roles.
Right.
I mean, like this is an action role for him, but he is so funny in this.
Yeah.
Like, just like from the moment he was on screen, he plays like the black sheep of the brothers of him and Dave Bautista and Jason Momoa, they're brothers.
Oh, okay.
And one of their parents passes away, that kind of brings them together, and then they find some more stuff out about however their dad died, and that's what kind of brings them together, and they start, all those action sequences. And dude, Jason Momoa, so funny, and then Dave Bautista's acting in this
He
is
caught
just
me off guard, Jason Momoa. Like, I didn't expect him to be as funny as
I mean,
he
like
actually
Minecraft.
is. Yeah,
Like-
he was great in Minecraft, really funny there. He's in the new Anaconda movie with Jack Black as well. I haven't seen that. It's like on Prime, but it's one of the things where you have to pay like $20 to rent it.
I heard it's
so.
I heard from at least one person who I've talked to about it, that person did not enjoy it. But I mean, like, honestly, I think it's a playful kind of movie anyway. So yeah, I feel like you kind of have to go into it thinking a certain way.
Right. Well, it's Jack Black, so it's kind of a must-watch.
And speaking of podcasts, I watched Jason Momoa on Theo Von's podcast this past week.
Theo is so funny.
And that was Theo's great,
Yeah.
and he is just so random, but he's also so just like so emotionally and mentally intact.
Yeah.
And he's just so good at these interviews, especially with people like he had a kid from an Amish community come
Of
on,
course,
and
yeah.
that was in my opinion, that's the best podcast.
I think we gotta do that on here.
If you've never watched Theo Von, I highly recommend watching his interview with someone from the
Right.
Amish community. It was really, really
I
good.
saw one. He did an interview with a negotiator who,
Mhm.
if it was a hostage situation, anything like that.
Just normal
And yeah,
people.
the guy set up like this mock thing for Theo, and he
Mhm.
was like, this guy was like gonna kill himself and his family and everything. And Theo was trying to talk the guy out of it. This guy's a stand-up comedian. Of course, you can kind of imagine. He's like, you probably don't want to do that. I wouldn't want to do that if I was you. He was like, it's not the way to go about it, but he's really funny.
Yeah, and but Jason Momoa, you could just tell because he's promoting his movie on Theo's podcast, and he was just like, he goes, this is my second comedic role he did because he was talking about Minecraft was his first one, and now this is like his second one. And he's like, I just want to do different stuff. I don't want to be seen as the same guy in every single role. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of tough for actors. It's all about selection and picking the
Yeah.
right things. Like trying to think of a character like Joffrey from Game of Thrones.
Yep.
If I ever see that kid in another movie, all I'm going to think about is Joffrey.
Oh, yeah. I
because
hate
he
him way
because
too
he did
much.
such a
Yeah.
good job at that role and like becoming this little crap of a kid, and then the next season he turns into this little crap of a king. It's like
Right.
I can't unsee that because he did such a good job at it. But now, like Jason Momoa,
Yeah.
I hope he does more funny stuff, and I'd like to
Right.
see him in like a drama as well. Like that'd be cool. Like
I
Dave
think-
Bautista, like
Yeah.
I could see he's really growing as an actor, and he really wants to get into things.
You need to throw something with like a bunch of huge dudes together with like The Rock, John Cena, and Jason Momoa. Like throw them all in because they're gigantic dudes.
Oh,
It's-
Bautista lost so much weight though.
Really?
Oh my god, he's so skinny now.
I'm gonna have to
I
watch
mean,
this.
skinny to Dave
Right.
Bautista, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, we ran for quite a bit, so we're gonna take a quick break and we'll be back in just 1 minute.
Damn.
And we're back after a short break there. Now, I think we got to open with someone who was a huge part of like Christmas, especially for me growing up. Sandra O'Hara has died, passed
Catherine?
away. Or Catherine, Sandra. I don't know where I was thinking that. Oh, I'm thinking Sandra Oh. Yeah. Totally different. But yeah, she has passed away. Now, I remember her mainly from Home Alone, but I've heard a lot of people like, oh, from Beetlejuice. She's been in
She's
quite
done a
bit.
lot of Tim Burton things.
Yeah.
But the last thing I saw her in that I can remember, like
Right.
something that she recently did, I saw Beetlejuice 2 and she was in that and she was so funny.
Yeah.
Like I remember her sticking out because of how funny she was in that movie. And yeah. Especially because, Kevin.
Yeah.
It's such a big part of our childhood growing up. That movie was played every year, at least
Yeah.
once in my household. So, and my parents loved Schitt's Creek.
Yep.
Yeah, she was just phenomenal in everything she did.
She was
She's
in The
super
Last
duper
of
funny.
Us. I didn't even notice it. Oh,
Oh, yeah,
in
she was in
Nightmare
The Last
Before
of Us, yep.
Christmas.
She was in The Last of Us,
Surviving Christmas, a series of unfortunate events.
and she was only 71.
Wow. Yeah, she was young.
Yeah, and I know it was some type of illness, but I don't know if there's any developments on that yet. But
No, when I
Yeah,
was looking
rest in
a
peace.
little bit earlier, she didn't have anything out yet, or they hadn't released anything. There was a TMZ release of like the audio call just saying that she was having a hard time breathing, but that can be a whole bunch of different things. Now, this is something that I like to see, or I don't like to see it, but it's interesting when it comes up. Now, you were saying you don't know too much about the Doomsday Clock.
no, you were talking about it, and I was like,
yeah.
I'm like, is it just a countdown to when Avengers Doomsday is? I
That
don't
would
know.
be a lot better. This is just
This is
kind of a
scary.
clock they put together, and there's not really like a whole math behind it. But I do have a little bit of a clip here I can play to kind of explain what it is for those of you who don't know. So yeah, kind of a scary thing.
Well, if we already got 85 seconds, we better get going.
Yeah, I don't.
We
It's
should
gonna
be on
take
the
a while
run.
for us to circle back from the 85, but yeah, interesting thing.
I don't
And
understand any of that.
no, so there's no science behind
What
it.
does
It's just
85 seconds
people.
mean?
It's how long you have until the end of the world, or I guess
That's what-
that's it's getting closer. I don't know. It's people just saying we're getting closer to the point where humanity ends. We're just gonna hope that they're wrong because it's really all we can do on that one. So,
I don't know. It seems like a bunch of hoopla to me.
oh, it 100% is. There is. We ran a package on it where this guy was talking about it, and he had all these math equations and everything behind his head. There's no science behind this. It's just them kind of like you can't calculate that.
I
at
don't
all, you know,
understand it.
it's-
I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope I'm not being ignorant, folks.
No, you're not. It's just a conspiracy thing. That's
Okay,
literally all it
okay.
is. But people are
Interesting.
interested in it, so figured we'd bring it up.
I don't like that. That's negative vibes, man.
Yeah, 100%. You know what else is negative vibes?
Oh boy.
This guy's ticket
geez.
prices. Now, I don't understand how he can justify charging what he is. People are angry about his concert ticket prices. So he's going. I think it's 30 nights at like Madison Square Garden. His cheapest ticket is like $1,000. Cheapest. That's like way up nosebleeds. So everyone's mad because they can't do it. And this is something that like his other concerts sell out really quickly. Half of the stadium and stuff is still full for wherever he's
Isn't
going.
that like how much a Taylor Swift ticket goes for?
Probably.
I'm pretty sure like during her last tour when like all these dads were taking their daughters to Taylor Swift, like they're paying that
Oh, I'm
much money.
sure. Yeah.
I mean, so 30 nights, is he doing just
I think
literally
it's
a
30
month
nights.
straight of
I don't know if
concerts?
it's straight, but
Back
it's
to
like
back to
30
back to back.
nights at, I believe it's 30 nights at Madison Square Garden. So
Huh.
yeah, definitely not a good sight when you still have like half the seats left
Yeah.
after a week open. So
When does the first night start?
let's see.
Because it's like I'm like, no way it's all back to back 30 nights because you know
I can't imagine.
the
That's
Knicks.
a lot.
No, they wouldn't be.
Right,
They wouldn't
yeah.
physically be able to do that. They have the Knicks, they have the Rangers, they have other
Let's see.
concerts and stand-up comedians that do that. So
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's only in 7 cities, so that actually might be why they have it so high too. I got the actual tickets on this. 30 concerts for Together at New York City's Madison Square Garden with special guest Jamie XX, who I don't even know. His first 20 Big Apple gigs they're from August 26th to October 9th, so they're not all back to back, but
interesting.
yeah,
Yeah, that stinks.
yeah, a lot. So if you wanted to see Harry Styles, sucks to be you. That's
Yeah, talking about
that's it.
British performers, have you seen the cast for the new Beatles biopics?
It looks really good.
I don't understand how they're doing I don't understand a lot this episode.
Okay,
I've said that
okay.
like 50 times. They're doing like 4 different movies and they're all coming out at the same time. And they're all about
Oh, I didn't know that.
they're all about each individual band member.
So that makes a lot of sense why it's so long because they've been working on this since like 2023, and it's not releasing till I think 2028, April of 2028. So that makes sense why it's so long.
We'll try to get pictures for you guys for next week
Yeah.
because it literally just came to my mind because I've been seeing pictures of what they look like in the
Right.
movie, and I think they did a dang good job at casting.
Yeah,
Paul
Ringo
Mescal.
is spot on.
Yeah, Ringo is Barry Keoghan or
Yep.
Keoghan, however the heck you say
It's
that name.
Kogan or something.
Yeah, and
One of those ways.
spot on with that one. Joseph Quinn as George
Yeah.
Harrison. That one was when I saw that he was George Harrison. I was like, how is that going to look? And then I saw what he looks like in the movie, and I'm like, oh yeah, well that makes sense. And who else? Paul Mescal is Paul McCartney, and Paul Mescal was the gentleman who just did Gladiator
Right.
and a bunch of other movies that have been.
Did you mention John Lennon yet? I just.
I don't know. I don't know
It's
that actor's
Harris
name.
Dickinson.
Yeah, that's the only actor that I'm sure I'm not the only one in this boat where I don't think that name rings a bell.
Yeah. And then you have Anna Sawai, I think, is Yoko. We love Yoko.
Yoko, yeah.
Yoko's a good one. And you know what? I actually just saw the video of her earlier when she was at the Olympics saying, "We want peace." You know, like kind of the Yoko thing.
Well, we want peace.
Nobody knew what she was saying, and she was just kind of there saying the same sentence over and over, doing classic Yoko activities.
Yeah.
But when we come back, we're actually going to talk a little bit about not only the Olympics, but the UFC as well, for last week's fight and what's to come. We'll be back in just a minute. And we are back once again after our last commercial break, and we have a lot to talk about as we end off the show here. For anybody interested in UFC, do you follow the fights at all, Dan? Or
I try to. You know, you have to pay for them, so I normally illegally stream them when I am interested in watching a fight.
You got Paramount Plus.
I mean, I did grow up. I'm the biggest John Bones Jones guy you'll ever meet. Yes, there's some controversies. But he's just the greatest pound for pound UFC fighter, probably of all time. And also love Rampage Jackson growing up. I try to follow. Obviously, everybody loves Paddy Pimblett.
I love Paddy Pimblett. And I was, before he kind of got real big on like Instagram and stuff in the social media game, I love Paddy.
I just think it's weird. It's been like he's been in the UFC for like
been a while.
Years.
Yeah.
And now it's like he's everybody's favorite fighter, which is funny. Sugar Sean O'Malley.
And I think
he's kind of lost it for me.
Yeah.
Just not as much juice going. He doesn't, and that's the other thing. All of these top guys, besides, I mean, like Paddy will fight whoever.
Right.
But all these top guys, they're very selective about who they fight.
Right.
Also,
O'Malley
I think Dana
fought in the bantamweight last
and I also
week.
think Dana White wants to give all of these younger guys a spotlight just so he can pay them less. I genuinely believe that's what he does, because like also you don't see too many stars fighting anymore.
No,
Tom
not
Aspinall, he's the one that everybody wants to see, but he's been having these eye surgeries left and right. But yeah, and are they full time on Paramount Plus now?
Yeah, yep. The fight's again tonight on Paramount Plus. So yeah, it worked out well last week, honestly. I mean, it was right there, easy to watch.
But your boy got wrecked.
Yeah, Paddy took a couple eyes in the first couple rounds, and
you can't knock out a scouse.
He didn't get knocked out. You can't.
He's
knock
never
out
been
a
knocked
scouse.
out. He's never been knocked out.
No, and he did not get knocked out. That's for sure.
And another thing I like, another thing I like about Paddy, at the end of all of his fights, he always shouts out, something about men's mental health and stuff like that. So he's good for that as well.
He's a great sport too. I mean, he's still hyping Gagey up at the end. I mean, he just totally lost in a bad way, but
and then for the UFC, they're going to be doing an event at the White House.
Yeah,
I believe on July 4th for celebrating USA's 250th, and there's not a single fight scheduled yet, and everybody thinks they're just gonna put a bunch of nobodies you haven't heard of before.
I hope not.
It's kind of leaning towards that way because people are asking Dana White all the time, like, is it going to be John Jones? Is it going to be John Jones? Because John Jones wants to do it, but Dana White's excuse is that he can't commit to John Jones doing it because John Jones always bails out, does that. But I'm like, I think you just don't want to pay the guy because he seemed Dana White.
But no, if you're at the White House since July 4th, you got to pull out all the strings you can. I mean, it's gotta be huge.
I don't know. I think I have a thing against Dana White because all of these fighters are coming out on Twitter. They voice their opinions about the UFC. These are modern day gladiators. Yeah, they are going in there and they see red. It's almost a fight to the death. Yeah, could argue obviously, but
it gets close.
And these guys, the one guy got knocked out, and Dana White said, everybody who fights this week, they're making at least $5,000, and they could make up to a $25,000 bonus. And one of the fighters who got knocked out, he quote tweeted what Dana White said and put his check on there for $2,500. So he just lied to the media about that. Yeah, and it's like, oh well, doesn't seem too crazy for all these people. Like all these fighters, like Dana White even said, he goes, half the fighters love me, half the fighters hate me. Yeah. Well, I feel like honestly, think about Roger Goodell. Almost everybody hates him. Yeah. Think about Rob Manfred with the MLB, the commissioner. Everybody, not a single person in the MLB likes Rob Manfred.
No, that's fair. To go into a little bit more sporting before we close out the show, you watch the Winter Olympics at all?
Yeah. When will be on. Sure.
Well, right. We got
I feel
February
like
6th
all
to
of them. I
February
feel like everybody
22nd.
watches the Olympics.
You have to. Yeah. I mean, something about curling, man. I don't know what it is, but I can sit and I can watch curling.
Curling,
forever.
huge in
Yeah.
Wisconsin.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. Yeah.
There's some curling clubs here.
Yep. One of my favorites behind curling though, this ski jumping. I don't know like how you even try that for the first time.
Scary.
Yeah.
Scary. Like Eddie the
Crazy.
Eagle.
Dude,
Eddie the
great
Eagle.
movie. Great movie.
I think my favorite events would probably be snowboarding, skiing, and hockey.
So when we were talking about this on the show with me and Ryan the other day, he hates figure skating. I put figure skating, like if you
I
go
enjoy
to the
it.
core ones, I'll put it at like number 5. I enjoy nice, relaxing figure
I
skating.
think I can watch bobsledding. I'm trying to
Yeah.
think of an event that I dislike. Let me look up some. I know we only have about a minute and a half, but let me look up some.
Yeah. We got alpine skiing in there, double luge, ski mountaineering. The speed skating's in there, bobsleigh, luge, skeleton. Yeah, I can't really think of any Winter Olympic events that I really dislike.
I mean, biathlon's
Yeah.
fun to watch. We have someone from the state of Wisconsin from our viewing area who is
Yeah.
going to be participating in the biathlon.
Yep, that's cool.
It's exciting stuff.
Really cool. And then there was that skier. She just got injured and she won't be going anymore. Lindsay, I think it was Lindsay Vaughn. Is that her name? I
Yeah.
believe so. Yeah, she's a skier. She's out for her race. She was coming down the mountain. I guess hurt her knee pretty bad, where she's now going to have to sit out the Olympics
Darn.
just days before. Yeah, definitely an unfortunate case.
I know we only have 20 seconds, but other than USA, who's your second country that you root for?
That's a good question. I
5.
got a lot of German
4.
family, so I'm going with that.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
USA.
Right. USA all the way, though, for sure. Thanks for joining us. We will be back next week with some more topics on something.